We're in Jakarta, Indonesia. This place has an incredible food scene and we're gonna go on a massive food hunt today.
Jakarta, Indonesia's dynamic capital city, has an exciting food scene. This video is the last of our 9-part video series from Indonesia. In this video, it's all about Betawi food, native Jakartan food. Watch out for Soto Betawi, aromatic beef soup, Gado Gado, one of Indonesia's most famous dishes, and Nasi uduk, fragrant coconut rice. Get ready for some mouth-watering food.
I'm Thomas.
And I'm Sheena, and we're chasing a plate.
We hope you're hungry. Let's eat.
Jakarta is the capital of Indonesia, and this megalopolis is a melting pot of different cultures. Anything you might want to eat, you can find in Jakarta. But today in this video, we are going to focus on Betawi food, and the Betawi are the native Jakartans.
Bawang ya banyak kan. Udah 15.
Betawi cuisine is really varied and eclectic, and it's influenced by a lot of different cultures, so Malay, Chinese, Arab, European, as well as the food from other parts of Indonesia. And we're at our first stop and we're eating Soto Betawi. So Soto is an Indonesian soup, and this is the Betawi people's version. So it's made up of a soup or a broth which has got a little hint of coconut milk in it. I have ordered the campur version. So I've got different parts of the beef. So I've got this here is paru goreng, so fried lung. I can see just normal bits of meat. There's some intestine there, and I think I saw, some tripe. It's got some spring onions and some fried shallots on the top, and these floaty yellow chips are emping, which are belinjo crackers, and belinjo is a seed of a plant. And I've also got some white rice to go with it. The white rice has been sprinkled with some crispy shallots, and then there's also some sambal, or really hot chili sauce, to go with it as well. I want to get into this soto before the emping starts going all soggy. So I'm gonna spoon some of this onto my rice, get some of that broth on there, ladle it over, and then I might take some of the sambal as well and just put a little bit on the side. Alright, let's taste this thing. You can really smell that soup. It's got a beautiful spicy fragrance. Oh, that's good. The soup has a little bit of a creaminess to it because of the coconut milk, but it's just quite light, and it's got a really beautiful aroma of spices, so things like lemongrass and kaffir lime leaf. You can taste those spices. That sambal was really spicy, so a really sharp chili heat from that sambal, and then those crackers just add a little bit of crunch to that mouthful. And the beef is really good. It's almost got like a smoky flavour to it. The soto came with some calamansi lime, so I'm going to squeeze that into my spoon, catch those pips, and then put that lime juice into the soto, and hopefully that'll give it some acidity and tanginess. So I'll mix that up and then get some of that soto onto my rice, and then I'm gonna create a spoonful which has got all the bits of offal in there. So I've got lung, some tripe, and then also some of that intestine with the rice and the soup. Adding that lime juice gave it a real freshness, and the offal is cooked so well. The intestine is really, really soft and tender. The paru, or the lung, has a real beautiful chewiness. It's got lots of flavour. And then that tripe as well just melts in your mouth. This is a really good bowl of food.
Next up, we've come to South Jakarta and we're hunting down a Gado. So Gado is one of Indonesia's national dishes. But as always, we're coming to a place where it's meant to be a very special version. So there's a little roadside tent for a local's favorite Gado. Gado is a boiled vegetable salad, so it's made up of a lot of different ingredients. But when you walk up to the stand and when they're making the dish, the smell is incredible. And that's because of all this sauce. You can see all this sauce all over the dish, and that's a peanut sauce, and it also has some tamarind in it. But the peanut smell is so good. It's really strong. So she poured that onto this big giant block and was mashing it all up, and then chucked all the different vegetables in and coated them. And there is a lot of different veggies in here. So I can see there's definitely potato, some tofu, I can see bean sprouts, there's some greens, I think there's some beans, there's some cabbage, tofu, did I already say that one? Yeah, tofu I think. There's an egg, a half hard boiled egg, and then there's these tapioca chips on top, so these pink chips, and they're just they give the dish sort of crunch. They'll change the texture of the dish. The smell, it's unreal. The smell is just absolutely incredible. Let's get one of those chips on top, add some crunch. Here we go. Wow. I took a huge mouthful. Oh, that is so good. A creamy potato, and then I had the firmer texture of the firm tofu, crunch of that chip, but it's all about that sauce. The flavour is amazing. Probably think peanut butter. It's like a really runny, really tasty peanut butter. A little bit sweet, but not too crazy. And then it's got some chili in there as well. So it's got a little bit of heat from chili, so spice from chili. I want to get some egg this time. It's got a bit of everything again. Another chip on top, and a big chunk of egg. Oh, that is good. It doesn't have a sourness from the tamarind. I thought it might have a bit of a sourness. So tamarind is a very sour fruit. But I'm not getting that at all. I'm getting real sweetness, good hit of saltiness, and then that peanut flavor just absolutely drives home. It's very strong. And the textures are amazing, like I just talked about. The crunch, the creaminess of the potatoes, and then that egg as well adds more creaminess. This is very tasty. I can see why this stall is really popular. And it's quite an interesting stall actually, because we're in a part of town that is very posh. There is nothing but mansions here, huge mansions, huge fences, and this little street food stall is just sitting right here on the footpath outside a huge mansion actually. And it's just packed with locals. It's really cool to see the massive, incredibly expensive houses and still that street food culture going on. So you can sit right on the road and have an incredible meal like this. Look how thick the sauce is down the bottom of the dish. It is unreal. It's so tasty. But I just found another key ingredient which I didn't have before. This is lontong. So it's a compressed little rice cake. So a little cube of compressed rice. Oh, it just takes on the sauce. Oh, down the bottom. That is good. So that sauce is all run down obviously. And so everything down the bottom is just thickly coated, a little bit more spicy, and that flavor, that is very good.
If you've watched our videos before, you'll know that we're all about finding the best local food in the cities that we travel in, and that often means traveling all around town to get to these amazing local spots. And so we're heading from South Jakarta up to the Old Town, which is in the north. We're in Kota Tua, which is the old town of Jakarta, and we're standing in Fatahilla Square, which used to be where the old city hall was during the Dutch colonial period. It's actually that huge building behind me, and so there's all this beautiful colonial architecture, and the square is really buzzy at the moment. You can hire bicycles, so a ton of people just riding around the square in these neon bicycles. People are chatting, hanging out. It's a really, really cool place to be.
We have a slight problem with this next piece we were going to do. So the guy we were going to eat from is running down the street at the moment because the police have just shown up. So all the street vendors are bolting. They're just grabbing their stalls.
I was like, the guy, our guy!
Sheena's called me home and said he's running down the street. So hopefully they come back when the police leave. We'll see what happens. Sadly, the seller never came back. We were going to get kerak telur, which is a omelette with rice. So super sad we couldn't try that. But that's something we've seen quite a lot around the world. The police coming in and shutting down street sellers. Just off the top of my head, I've seen that in Taiwan. We've seen that in Korea, Thailand, Chile, a lot of places. So really common, unlicensed street food sellers. So sadly, we've had to forgo that one and move on to the next stop, which are these tents right behind me. So this is right on a seriously main road, and this looks like a really, really good meal.
We're here to eat another uniquely Jakartan dish, and it's called Nasi uduk. So it's rice cooked with coconut milk and served with a number of sides. Let's go and eat. So there's a lineup of different sides that you can choose to go with your rice. So I've got my tray and my tongs. I'm just going to see what there's on offer and then load up my tray. Selamat malam. I've handed my tray over to the staff and they're going to fry up what was in our tray. We've also ordered some kangkung or morning glory, and it's going to go into the wok. Up there to choose from. There's fish, intestines, chicken, vegetables, beef, all sorts. So I loaded up with some empal, which is fried beef, some tempeh, which is soybean cake, and then some chicken or ayam goreng, fried chicken. And so all of the sides up there are already cooked except for the vegetables. All the meat is already been flash fried, and then you give your tray, which has been loaded up with all the sides, to the staff, and then they heat it up and cook it again, so they pop it back into the oil. And then to go with the meat and protein, I have got some kangkung, which is morning glory or water spinach, and it's just been cooked with some chili, garlic, and then I think fermented soybean. To go with all the sides is the hero of this meal. This is the Nasi uduk. So you can see this rice has been cooked in a bunch of things. So instead of water, it's been cooked with coconut milk and then things like clove, cassia bark, and lemongrass. And so, like, it's got the most beautiful fragrance. It smells very savory. And then it's just been sprinkled with a ton of bawang goreng or fried shallots. To go with all of this are some extras as well. So with Nasi uduk, you often get this sambal kacang, and this stuff is insanely good. So it's chili sauce with peanuts. And then over here we've got some pounded chilies for that extra heat. So this stall that we're at is really popular with the locals. They're really famous for their rice, so let's just give it a go. I can see why they're so popular. That rice is amazing. It's very rich. It's a beautiful texture and it's quite creamy. I'm gonna get into this sambal kacang. Honestly, this stuff is insane. So it's got a little bit of that dark stuff there is sweet soy sauce, so ketchup mayonnaise. So what I'm gonna do is get a little bit of that rice again, put that sambal kacang on top, and then I've got some fried chicken. Alright. It is amazing. It is so good. This sambal kacang is amazing. There are all these buskers who are wandering around the tables and playing their music or what have you, so sorry if it's a bit loud. Oh my gosh, that sambal kacang is insanely good. It tastes like peanut butter with a bit of spiciness. And then that ayam goreng. So the fried chicken is very skinny. There's not much meat on that chook, but that's because they use free-range chickens. And you can actually really taste the flavor of the chicken, even though it's quite a small bird. This is a great meal.
I've loaded up a bit of everything onto my plate, so I'm going to start off by just ripping into this beef. Oh, that tears apart really easily. Look at that. Really easily. It's a little bit pink inside. We've just had another busker arrive. It is all go here. So we've got the really busy road right behind Sheena. We're on the road. Our seats are on the road. So I think it looks like it's about 4 lanes, and a lane and a half is this restaurant. The cooking is all on the footpath. Buskers everywhere. It's full on. It's really, really fun place to eat. We'll get some rice and I'll dunk it in this peanut sambal. Just look at that for a mouthful. Oh, that sambal is so good. The beef's a really great texture. It's kind of like jerky, it almost reminds me of. It's really, really nice. Let's try this kangkung, or this morning glory. So you can see these really big chilies. Let's get one of those on top, and a whole lot of garlic in there. Whoa. Quite salty, really nice. You know what, straight away, that reminds me of the Thai style of cooking that. So, morning glory, cooked in the fermented soybeans, I think, some of that sauce. It's got a nice little tanginess from that. The garlic stands out, and the chili that was in there had absolutely no spice. So I'm gonna have to add some of these chilies from the sambal down here. Because it is thick looking. Look at that. That is a serious thing of just ground up chilies. Just dump a whole lot on my plate. Get some tempeh, so some fermented soybeans, some of that chili. We'll get a whole lot of that chili and some rice as well. So that chili should be hopefully really, really spicy. Whoa. Yeah, it is. Oh, good. Oh, that's like a Thai spice as well, actually. That really, really just picks you in the mouth sort of spice. Really sharp. I don't think it's going to linger though. I can already kind of feel it dying away. And with that creamy coconut rice, it just goes together perfectly. I love this meal. The feel of it, the taste of it. Sitting here on the road, it's all action sitting here, full on. There's something sort of coming at you from every direction. The flames from when he chucks in the vegetables are firing up behind us. All the motorbikes and cars on the road. And then the food is really, really good. We really wanted to wake up and go back and try and find the guy that had to run away because the cops came. But sadly, time was just not on our side and we had to head for the airport. And we're now actually finishing this video from Seoul, South Korea. So we're here to film our next food series. So we have to get back to Jakarta as soon as we can to find the guy and hope that the cops don't show up.
Thank you so much for watching. We really hope you enjoyed this one. Hit that subscribe button because we've got a ton more food videos coming from Seoul and then from Istanbul. and give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Pop a comment down below, we love to hear from you, and if you want to support more Chasing a Plate content, check out our Patreon page. Thanks for watching, we'll see you next time. Jumpa lagi!
Jumpa lagi!